sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Good morning, everybody. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. You have landed on Teen Sports Radio. Dr. D, where can you find us on Teen Sports Radio?
You make it sound like they've landed on another planet. And in a manner of speaking, they have, because they can hear us on terrestrial radio. I love that phrase. On AM 1290 and FM 96.9. Boy, it sounds good on 96.9. You can hear us online at AM 1290, KZSB.com. And you also see our program schedule there, where you can see that we're here Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and is it 10 p.m.? 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Tuesdays. Then we're back here on Sunday at 6 p.m.
6.
And then Monday morning at 3 a.m. We're also on podcasts. We record these and they're broadcast or put out on the internet on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, Blueberry, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, as well as the new outlet, the new podcasting site. They call it an internet radio station. I will allow that because it's not really radio, but I like the idea. And Erica, give me the name of that website for the new outlet.
Eternity Ready Broadcasting. They launched in 22 countries now, which is nice because it's like that. Like you say, it's this whole internet radio is out there right now. And we're part of that. It's a Christian station. And they have a couple of podcasters, a couple of radio content shows, a lot of music, but it's Christian music. So it's actually good. I listened to it before the show. Yeah. It calms me down, as you can see. It calms me down, Dr. D.
Well, remember, I worked for 15 years at a Christian radio station, and a lot of the music. I mean, I fell in love with both Amy Grant and Sandy Patty and a few others. Great stuff. By the way, while we're thinking about this, because I wanted to give this out, because I think this is really important, ladies and gentlemen, as far as our podcasts are concerned. I am sitting right now on a website. It's called SoundCloud. And since we started podcasting and posting back in 2019, ladies and gentlemen, we are overall, Erica, 3,500, almost 3,600 listens in quite honestly, such a short time, with only one program going up a week. That is pretty darn good.
And the reality is it's all organic. Do it. We don't really do anything. What we we have the luxury of having some pretty powerful leaders in this community, and
including our teens.
Absolutely, because we do a lot of work with the teens. We have teen co-hosts that are representing every single school that come out and give us their sports recap, which is a great thing. And the nice thing is having that chance to showcase a teenager, to showcase themselves, to get to put that on a college resume.
Absolutely.
And that's just good stuff. It's kind of like playing the violin. I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Broadcasting.
We have helped students get into Berkeley, UCLA, Chapman,
St. Andrews,
and
Cornell,
and, Scotland, Cornell,
UCLA.
So, So if any teens listening to this and they're thinking about what can they do to beef up their college resume.
And I love it when we Dominique and I have taken international exchange students for over a decade. And that's worked out really well, having them be a part of it, because then we get a different perspective globally. Our Laura, who's become like our daughter, Laura
from Italy.
Laura Arcadia.
Shout out to Laura.
We love you, Laura. Has grasped 6 languages. So anytime she came out, I'd have her go off and, like we're in an airport, in 6 different languages. She'd just go off and say how wonderful Teen Sports Radio is. So then in my head, I'm like, oh, we're international now. So it works out really good. I want to just take a little break here. I want to introduce, we have a guest here today. Thank you, Christine Marie. I reached out to Healthy Warrior. We have Mia Pasqualucci in the house. Put your hands together. Woo! Why am I the only one clapping? That's not a warm welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
So I did browse the great article that was written about you. So what I'd like you to do is let's start from the beginning for those who haven't read it. Let's get to know you. You like to know your clients and your customers in the community. You had a great idea. You started something during the mudslides. Who does that? I mean, that's somebody with, then you're employing all your friends. So tell us about yourself, Mia.
It was kind of fun. It was kind of wild and crazy, but it's been amazing so far. We're a local organic meal prep company that, like you said, started during the mudslides and the fires that were just hitting our city back to back to back, and started originally for me at the Four Seasons at the Biltmore with a very large team. And when all of the disasters started happening, everyone didn't have a job. We didn't have work. Everything was shut down. And it kind of gave me an interesting moment to try something new, to explore something different and provide something that I think the community needed. And so that's what we did. We tried it. We just went for it, saw what happened, and it went really, really well. We work with all the farmers at the Santa Barbara Farmers Market. So we get to provide something really tasty and healthy, and it gets people eating seasonally and locally, which is really, really cool. That's kind of like our whole big push, is trying to eat within like our range. Our farmers, our vegetables, our meats, our eggs, everything is coming from Santa Barbara. So that is our main push.
I want to make a plug that for anyone who's suffering from allergies, if they would be contacting you and working with the meals that you're providing, that really helps in allergy season, because you're acclimating your body to the pollens and everything that's going on in our environment. And that way our body has less of an allergic reaction.
Exactly. Yeah, the allergy thing has been a major wave. I think that's kind of new for everyone. They're trying to adapt to that. So you've got seasonal allergies, but you've also got a lot of dietary restrictions that people haven't been dealing with before. They've got gluten intolerances, all these strange, funky things that they've never experienced. So we're here to help provide a service to help you deal with that, because we haven't had that before. So we're here to help you kind of move through those problems.
And we know that you provide amazing organic. Do you do gluten-free as well?
We do it all. We do gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, pescatarian, all the fun new stuff, paleo, keto, whatever is coming across the board, we deal with it. A lot of people are dealing with diabetes, or they're moving into diabetes, and we're trying to get them out of it before they hit that point. So happy to help there.
Well, I want Christine. Christine Marie is just, wanting to beat down your door right now. So
I can chime in.
This is better than Yelp. Okay, 5 stars for Christine. Go ahead.
Well, I can chime in and say that, you fill out a whole sort of questionnaire of saying exactly what your issues are. So for me, like, I'm gluten-free and I'm dairy-free, but I like goat cheese, so there's all these things that are like that it's not, I'm not just vegan. I don't, so, and they have provided, everything, my meals are basically for me, so it's been really fabulous to have meal come in and have goat cheese, or I just know that I can eat everything that's there, so it's really good.
I know now you have somebody to make your lamb chops for you.
My lamb chops. Oh, I haven't had lamb yet, but I did dinners at first.
Better than my lamb chops. I'm just saying.
No, yours are the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, I joke with Mia, but you say there are certain things that are it's gluten-free, it's free of this and free of that. So basically you have plates of air is what you're saying. There's really nothing there.
Super tasty air that we provide, and it's customized for you. No.
What I like about it is when you get the to-go foods today, I mean, it's a good option. Okay, Dr. D, I can't tell you how many times I've heard from you. I'm just saying during COVID and everything like that you're just not happy with your takeout food.
True. That is true. Yes.
I heard Christine Marie, not just, I have to hear about how good this food is. And if I wasn't we have 3 chefs in the house. And plus Richard eats over every other night. He graduated from culinary school too. So it's not but I appreciate, because I drop off soup every week to people because we just like making soups. I have deliveries because it's fun to do. And I believe in sharing. So, and we can do it. So, but I know what you're doing is amazing. And what I want to do is I want to take a break, but you have mentioned some things that you wanted to do for our kids in our community, some ideas you had, some projects, and let's get back to that right after these messages. We have Mia in the house right after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, this is Mia from Healthy Warrior. We are at healthywarriorsb@gmail.com. You can also hit us up at 805-881-1681. We are a local organic meal prep service serving the Carpinteria, Santa Barbara, and Goleta area.
Wow. You know something? Let's just get something out of the way. Can you please stay and help us serve the community? You get free commercials. You talk about yourself. I mean, what you do is like it exactly fits our program. What do you say?
Yes.
All those in favor, put your hands up. Say aye. Look at Dr. Amy, right? First one. John Sanders. Big, yeah. Okay. Eyes have it. All right, there you go. I want to ask Chris a question, and I know Don and Ed probably all have questions too, but you had brought up something to me yesterday, which I found absolutely fantastic, genius idea. What do you want to try to, what's your next level of Healthy Warrior and how you want to support our kids in this community?
Of course, yes. So we're branching out into the community, all wide age groups. So from about 8 years old up to maybe 17, 18 is a culinary program that is teaching kids from the basics to how to take care of yourself when you leave the home, going off into college, all that kind of stuff, and a little bit of everything in between. There's etiquette in there, from setting your tables to also the important part on the parent side, which is cleaning up and wrapping up the kitchen and putting it back the way it was found. But yeah, culinary classes for students, and also getting them to go to the market and see where their food comes from, and then how they can take that home and prepare it for themselves and for their families. That's what we're trying to build in.
Genius.
That's great.
That reminds me of taking home ec in grade school. I think it was in 6th or 7th grade. The boys switched with the girls. The girls took shop. The guys took home ec for a week. I actually loved it, not only because it was a different atmosphere than the shop teacher and sawdust everywhere, but because it was stuff I was learning even at home with my 4 sisters and my mother, and learning how to cook. So I think it's a great thing. That's cool.
You like the ladies there. Come on, Richard.
Well, okay, all right. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to disagree with you.
I was about the sawdust. Come on now.
So Mia, these classes are for their own cooking, or do you have them go on to a professional cooking career?
So there's options on both sides of that. What they would do is come into so I took over, that's another fun thing added to our project, is I took over a large building in downtown Santa Barbara. It's an old historic building. You might remember it as Casa Sevilla from way back in the day.
Yeah.
And we revamped this building, and we made it a large commercial, like open kitchen space. So all the kids can come to a real working commercial kitchen and actually make a big mess and have a good time and have fun in that space. And then they learn everything, cook everything, and then they can take that knowledge that they've gained home and practice at home.
Make
if they want to move forward, make a huge mess. But they have to clean it up. That's part of the program.
Are you interacting with the schools? How is your program running?
One of the ones that we do is through a summer camp. So that is just for the summertime. This other part that we're trying to add in is to the school program. So anyone who's doing homeschooling, they can get credits for their homeschooling classes. They can do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty
Great.
cool.
That's great. That's genius.
Or just in addition. So
So these homeschool classes. So these, is this one-on-one? Or are you doing this all by video?
this is one-on-one. So it would be small group classes, nothing massive like you would think in a classroom setting. It's not, obviously now at this time with everything we've dealt with, small, more intimate groups is kind of what we're going for. But the summer camp classes usually range, they max out at about 12 students in a group. In our space, I think that would be appropriate, but I think the smaller the better, because then you get a little bit more one-on-one attention, a little bit more detail. So that's what we would.
That'd be a great reality show, don't you think? I think so. No, I'm serious. I would be so awesome. I would watch it. I mean, I love kitchen show. I mean, it's a different take on food, a food show. You got diners, drivers, and big and whatever. Yeah. Well, hey, Jamie's 15-minute meals. She's my boy, okay? Because I'm on the fight. And I got 15 minutes to blow out with Jamie. That's just, he's really good. And he's not getting credit for this, but he's knocked out junk in England. So I was talking to Philip about it, who's our friendly Brit. And he tried to do that in this country, but corporations are just too powerful, too strong. So these little micro units that are popping up all over the place, led by, you are a warrior, okay, to do this and spearhead this movement is spectacular, and hands off to you. Great job, Mia. See?
Thank you. I'll take Maria. That's fine too, but Mia.
Definitely. Now, do you is your business under a nonprofit?
We are not under a nonprofit. Healthyware is a corporation, and S Corp is what we moved over to. So,
Nice.
But it's by me, lady owned, female owned, and started. I'm many hats. I'm the chef, the owner, the HR, billing, I'm all the things, but I do have a small team that works with me. I know you guys mentioned Sarah the other day, and she's lovely. She's my right-hand human. She organizes all the things that my ADD brain can't always tackle. And
nice.
Yeah, I've got.
It's a small town, so like we went down a list of everybody that we know. They'd be like, that's just how it is. But for people in our little network, Dr. Amy, come on, why are you so shy?
I'm letting Mia do her thing, and sitting in appreciation and recognition. So my sister owns a farm to table school garden program that serves the entire district of Bellingham, Washington. So this is a domain I'm at least adjacent to and familiar with, and I like the education piece. I like the health piece. I like the enthusiasm and problem solving piece.
Well, it's really nice when you, and I'm sure you do this, Dr. Amy, because I've been blessed enough to be treated by you. Am I going to call you back in 5 minutes that you are not on your way to the hospital? Yes, I'm leaving. You don't have to call me back. I'm in the car. Is this bad what I was going through?
Well, I was sure that Dominique was going to take you. I wasn't sure that you were going to go on your own.
There you go. See, she knows me, right? Because see, this is my heart right here. This is how my brain works. Okay. This covers the whole wall. Pretty much says everything about me. Seriously though, when you meet your clients, you have to admit, you got the whole medical scope, you got the mental scope, but the dietary scope, I've never sat with a doctor and said, oh, give me a meal plan for a week. You haven't had that. So now we have a place to go say, hey, go call her. Nice thing about Mia, because I read this in the article that I read about you, you'll actually sit down with somebody.
It's all that one meeting.
Well, and the thing is, even if I send someone home with a dietary plan, if they don't have support or kind of the bandwidth or the skills to think about it, or even they kind of go into the store and they feel overwhelmed, like that's a place where Mia could help them get started while they're learning how to do it for themselves.
And that's at any age. Okay, because these kids that I know, and I'm including my kids, like I see these monster drink, I want to shoot myself. All right, because that's what I see. Kids are just jacking, just want to get jacked. And it's their meals and their drinks that they're putting, the high highs and the low lows. It's just too extreme. I mean,
lots of caffeine and stimulants. Yeah, that's kind of the push right now for some reason. I don't know why, but it's become very popular. So
I know Dawn can add to this just real quick. When I had my science classes in biology, when I was in high school, we read about digestion and how it takes energy and nutrients to digest sugars. And I could see practically why this wasn't a good idea to put it in your body. Don.
Oh, I was just going to say, I love that you're teaching them potentially to use food as medicine and good, healthy, organic food, and that you're also teaching them after they make a creative creation to clean up after themselves. I got a 20-year-old who's training to be a chef on the job. He's working in a popular restaurant here in Ojai, and he still thinks mom and dad are the dishwashers.
Nope.
That's
Absolutely
awesome.
not. That's so cool.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to take another break, but a little later on, we're going to be having Richard Ellsworth. It's his birthday today, everybody. So when he comes on, I don't know if we're going to sing happy birthday. We'll figure it out. But it is his birthday today. We're going to have Alex Ramirez, owner of Fit for Life 805. So let's take another little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We're going to be with Ed Langlo after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
I'm Ed Langlo with another edition of If Only I'd Known. If Only I'd Known is a mentor's moment with the teens with us remotely, as well as those listening in on the radio. Today's segment is a history lesson on Santa Barbara High School's Golden Tornado, their football team, and their CIF contentions. I'm a little bit under the weather today, but hopefully I can make it through without coughing or any issues. So the moniker Golden was first used in 1929 when the Dons went to CIF playoffs for the first time as the Golden Tornado. But the golden years were really in 1935 to 1940. In those 5 years, the Dons won the championship 3 times, 3 out of 5 years. The first win, Santa Barbara, came in 1935 at the Rose Bowl, where a 14-12 victory over Monrovia brought home the championship title. In 1937, Glendale took down the Dons on their own turf, 15-14, and that game was played in Peabody Stadium. That's the only CIF title game ever played here in the stadium at Santa Barbara High School. In 1938, Golden Tornado took out Covina 13-0 at the LA Coliseum to again bring home the title. 1939, Alhambra prevailed over Santa Barbara at the Coliseum 26-18. Now, in a previous segment, I titled The Comeback of 1940. My old friend Doug Spence started out the season opener with a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Then they trounced Oxnard 27-0. Golden Tornado went on to take Whittier 26-0 in the final, and again came home from the Coliseum with the title. And I believe that 99-yard return still stands, and part of the reason is if you beat it, you'd be in the end zone, it'd be a touchback. So I think Doug's title as the longest kickoff return pretty much stands. In 1948, they made it to the final game, tying St. Anthony 7-7, and the CIF used the total first downs to break the tie. St. Anthony had 16. The Dons, with only 12, came home empty-handed again. And if any of you baseball fans out there remember Eddie Matthews. Eddie Matthews, I think he played for the Braves for like 14 years and went on to play for the Houston Astros. In 1978, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And being as how he went to high school at Santa Barbara High, Santa Barbara put on an Eddie Matthews Day parade. So I was down there with my Model A Roadster to be in the parade, and the parade marshal didn't like the car that Matthews was in. So he runs over to me at the last minute. He says, "Hey, can Eddie Matthews ride in your rumble seat?" So I chauffeured Eddie Matthews and his mother down State Street for the Eddie Matthews Day parade. That was really an interesting moment. In 1960, the Santa Barbara Dons again earned a shot at CIF finals against Compton's Centennial High Apaches. It's December 9th in the Los Angeles Coliseum, and tensions are running high as 8,600 fans Look on to witness a fight between the best two high school teams in the 4A football. The entire first half was hectic with a flurry of fast exchanges as both teams fumbled and intercepted. Centennial dominated the first quarter, scoring when Larry Dodd's fourth down pass to Ernie Zumwalt was complete for 9 yards and a touchdown, making the score Compton 6, Dons nothing. The tide began to turn as Don's number 91, a would-be state senator, made a sensational overhead interception at the end of the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, number 11, Edgar Matthews, jarred the ball loose from Compton's Billy McClurkin, and John Rowland pounced on the ball for the Golden Tornado. And I don't believe there's any relations between Matthews. The Santa Barbara News Press spelled Matthews with 2 T's for Edgar. So you would have to be a brother. And I doubt anybody would name one son Edgar and one son Edward. So I don't think there's any relation there, but I'm not sure. I don't know that. Don's quarterback, Rod Dowhauer, completed a 16-yard pass to number 91, Gary Hart. Then a 7-yard sweep by number 22, Johnny Gilbert, set up a first down on the 2-yard line. On the next play, Dowhauer smashed to the Compton line to score. Frank Galindo's good, making the score Don 7, Compton 6. With 14 seconds remaining in the first half, Dowhauer launched a 30-yard heave to Matthews, who caught it on the Centennial 12-yard line, ran it to the 2 before he was tackled by Clifton Simon. 4 seconds remain on the clock as play ended and the gun popped before play could resume, leaving the score 7-6 at the end of the first half. Centennial was touted as the second half team, but when play resumed, it was all Santa Barbara. The Tornado took the ball at midfield, and after 6 plays, they were on the 1-yard line, and fullback Frank Hogwin ran it in to score. Hogwin was a workhorse, carrying the ball 5 times in a row to pick up the final score, making it Don's 19, Apache's 6. In the fourth quarter, it was all over with but the shouting. So in the waning moments, Coach Sam Cathcart retired his regulars and gave the rest of the reserve players a thrill of playing in a CIF championship game. They did it. The local high school brought home football's greatest honor back to Santa Barbara after the lapse of exactly 20 years.
Wow.
It would be the last time Santa Barbara would play for the title in the highest division in the southern section. Rod Dowhauer went on to set records at San Diego State and become head coach for Stanford. Johnny Gilbert would become a world-class sprinter, and Gary Hart, well, we knew him as Senator Hart. I'm Ed Langlow, and I'll see you next time on If Only I Had Known. I'm not sure when that's going to be because I'm going to be out of the country all next month. So, and maybe into June. So we'll see. We might do a remote.
That's going to be fun. You're headed to Paris.
Yes. For
we want remote from the tower.
We're going to try. I'll try. We'll see if
as you're eating a croissant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be.
This croissant is for you. Wrap it up and bring it home. Bring a croissant home for me.
There you go. It'll be 7:30 at night over there, so it might even make it more interesting. If we go up in the tower and get a backdrop or with lights in the background, we'll see. Nice. Hopefully,
good job. Well, we'll definitely see you next week. Let's take another little break. This is Erica Salder. We got Christine Marie right after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and
this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Christine Marie with a view from the deck. And Dom, you can reach me at 805-350-2705 or also at Paradise Found on their website, Paradise Found SB, I think, www.paradisefoundsb.com. I would like to read a card for Mia, but I'm going to actually have Dominique do some sort of shuffling, and then Mia tell her when to stop shuffling, and then tell her whether you want to pick from the top, the bottom, or the middle, and then we'll do that, and I'll read it there for you.
Shuffling.
Go, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Stop.
Middle, top, or bottom?
Middle, please.
Middle.
And then when you break it apart from the middle, you say, "Oh, okay, let's see. What is it now?"
Wow.
Oh, you got to put something white behind it so I can see.
I can do that. There you go. Erica, can you see what it is?
Looks like a chick laying down holding a basketball.
Hang on. It is a 4. It is a 4 of
coins.
Coins.
Yes.
It's the 4 of coins. It's the 4 of coins. So they're standing on a coin. Wait, can you lift it up a little bit?
Raise it up.
It's not that's not the 4 of coins. Is it?
I'm not sure.
It's a 2 of no. It's got a lot more coins. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 coins.
8 of coins.
Oh my gosh, this is throwing me off. So this is a new deck, and this is called the Transparent Tarot. And so the 8 of coins, well, actually, you know what the 8 of coins is? This is perfect. The 8 of coins is about reaping the harvest of your life's work. So like what you're doing right now, there's like a harvest that's coming in the material realm. Coins are material. And so it's like there's all this coming in. So, and it really would make sense, Mia, for the work that you've been doing recently and how you've utilized everything you've done up to this point, and now it's sort of all coming together for you, and you're really bringing it in. The next at the 9 of coins is where you start separating the wheat from the chaff. You know what I mean, and picking out the net harvest, right? So you're in the gross harvest right now, bringing in all sorts of things, and so I think it's a pretty powerful card for where you are right now. That's pretty nice.
Love that. That was beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Great. Yeah, my pleasure. And speaking of reaping harvests, we're still working on the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, a new paradigm for sustainable success by Jim Detmer, Diana Chapman, Kaylee Warner Klemp. And this is commitment number 12 that we're working on, which is about having enough of everything. And as we've been talking about, there's a above the line and below the line. Below the line is a commitment to scarcity mentality, seeing that there's not enough for me or anyone else in the world, and then being conscious of making sure to get and preserve what's mine. And the above the line is where we like to try to stay. We always find ourselves sometimes going below the line because that's part of life, but we would like to catch ourselves there, become conscious, and bring ourselves back up above the line, which is having enough of everything. I commit to experiencing that I have enough of everything, including time, money, love, energy, space, resources, etc. So anything we think we don't have enough of. And one of the, I think what it is it's making a shift from a myth of insufficiency, that there's not enough, and a shift of or a mentality of scarcity to one of sufficiency, where we have enough, we are sufficient. And I think it's so important. And in fact, one of the things I do when I really feel like I don't have enough money, I go and I buy somebody else something, because if I'm feeling really afraid and scarce, I need to pull myself out of that. And so I will go and, or give a really big tip or something. Even if I feel like I can't, I somehow I'll just make it happen. And it always works out. It's amazing.
Thank you for my coconut almond creamer.
You're welcome.
Yes, you did. I appreciate it. I thanked you 3 times because I was dairy free and in a conundrum because my coffee was not complimented with and then you came through for me, and I appreciate that.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Okay.
But I don't need you to keep repeating it because I want you to feel like abundant now. That would make me feel sad if you keep giving me creamer.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. And it's interesting because it says in the book that those committed to conscious relationship, the belief and experience of sufficiency, of having enough, actually creates a profound shift in our relationship with each other, with others, with work and life. When we really believe that there's enough and there's always more than enough, it changes everything, even if there's enough air. And it's also looking at simplicity. Do we need more or do we have enough? More is not necessarily better, so it's that sense of what is enough and feeling comfortable and breathing in and realizing what we do have. There's more than enough air. There's always more than enough air, right? And we've got water and we've got sunlight and there are things that are pouring in on us all the time. So,
nice.
That's
awesome.
I can dovetail right in. This is Dominique with Wellness Center. When I first learned to meditate, to our teens out there, if you've never done a meditation practice, the first sensation I had was 20 minutes twice a day. How am I going to fit that in? And instead, my life shifted, and my ability to take a moment to myself and just sit quietly for 20 minutes twice a day, that became the most important thing. And my life just flowed. And all of a sudden I had more time rather than less time because I had more adaptation energy. Dr. Amy.
Well, for those teens who want to learn to meditate, my meditations are not 20 minutes. So you can start small and you can find them on iTunes and Spotify, and they're written specifically for teens. So just Google my name, Amy Saltzman, Saltzman, and you will have enough resources at your fingertips.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
Definitely. All right, listen, we got a little bit of show left, so let's take a little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with one more section after these messages.
Brazil, back in the USSR, way down in LA, every day, dancing in the street, crossing China too, me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Richard Ellsworth with the Braille Institute and Mountain Sage Healing Arts. Happy Tuesday. Today, I was thinking about all sorts of different things, really, but I really wanted to continue what we were talking about last week, going off of what Dominique was talking about with this idea of incorporating different things into our routine that can contribute to a healthy lifestyle. And, we talked about some things with food and diet and exercise and environment and all of these different principles of health. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is water, but one of the other things that we really need for survival is oxygen. And it's not just any oxygen, it's not just, sitting in a room and breathing. A lot of times there are things in that room that are sensitive to our systems, like flame retardant chemicals or things that are off-gassing, right? Those volatile organic compounds, the VOCs that are leaching off of furniture or carpets. Or a lot of places will even have mold or dust in the environment. Really, really quick fix for all of these things is that we can put plants in our home that will actually filter the air for us. Things like ferns, devil's ivy, Mauna Loa, calla lilies, Gerber daisies have actually been shown to filter an incredible amount of toxic compounds from the air. So all of these different things can increase the quality of our air. In addition to those negative ions that weigh down the positive ions of dust, bacteria, germs, anything that could be floating in space. So something that could do that would be like a Himalayan salt lamp, right? Those are pretty common. That type of salt is ionic. Or a more industrial solution would be to simply get an ozone generator, right? And you blast a room with ozone when you're not in it, of course. Then you open up the doors, air it out for an hour, come back in, and you have clear air that is much, much, much safer to breathe. And of course, if you are going to blast it with ozone, you want to take your plants out of there. So I was wondering, Alex, how important is breathing and oxygen when it comes to exercise?
Hey everyone, Alex here with Fit for Life 805. Breathing is everything, especially when exercise. Meditation, Dominique was talking about meditation, and as kids try to do self-reflection, breathing, I think, is an essential component to how you're able to keep a steady heart rate. Also, it keeps you calm, and it kind of mellows out those emotions when you're trying to meditate. It has so many different applications. I also think the way you breathe is important. A lot of people breathe through the mouth, and not a whole lot of people know that nose breathing is essentially how you should be breathing, if you can, all the time, but it's hard. And not everyone knows to do that. But I think it's everything. You know, you always want to, I always tell people you need to exhale on the exertion. So for you young kids out there looking to train and you're getting started, you never want to hold your breath. Always exhale when you exert strength. I call it the triple X or the double X effect. Exert, exhale, exhale when you exert strength. And there you have it. And breathing's everything.
So when you said to me, Alex, you said breathe. I need an oxygen, and so I those portable tanks for me at that time doing those low grade exercise. That was really good. So honestly, Alex, what's your phone number? Because you're the man.
805-896-7514. That's 805-896-7514. You can find me online, Google Fit for Life 805, and I'll pop up.
Nice. Dominique's going to finish off the show with her hygge.
Well, Richard, your comment about oxygen dovetailed into what Christine was talking about, the abundance that we have of air and just the simplicity of living life. It's so beautiful. So when we talk about hygge, we're talking about what makes our life comfy and cozy. And I was just going to add in a wonderful hygge thing is to realize you don't always have to take a car. So this would increase your oxygen to walk or bicycle or even car ride with someone else as well. There's lots of things we can do with creating mobility for ourselves where we're not independently in our own vehicle. So I want to encourage for the hygge moment for the week is think about all those times where you don't have to take a car. Maybe you choose to walk, ride your bike, be with friends and family, and enjoy the oxygen and enjoy sharing wonderful moments.
Now here's an interesting addition to that, Dominique. All right. And this requires us to do one other thing, and that's plant even more trees, because when we're out there walking and we're exhaling the carbon dioxide, the trees and the plants around us take that in, and then they convert it into more oxygen that we take in as we're walking. So this is a whole sustainable process. So while you're walking, if you can, carry some seeds with you, toss them over into the mud.
Like Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed, but do it.
Dominique does that. On that note, I want to, quick little note, thanking my neighbors, set me off this whole week. On Sunday, came over with a big bag of oranges from their tree. So Sandy, we love you so much. Thank you. And Stevie.
So appreciate it.
And what it made me do is the next day I just started making soup, started giving it away. See, so love from somebody else and that generosity and my gratefulness to it kind of started this
ball rolling.
And so what I like to do, we have a couple of minutes, just think about that this week. Maybe it's time. Harvesting is now. You have fruit trees, you have a lot of fruit. So if you haven't seen your neighbor in maybe 2 years for whatever reason, okay, you want to rebond, bring over it. You don't even have to say anything. Just drop off some fruit to your family, your friends, kids. I mean, let's just reconnect, right?
Share the abundance.
Share abundance, and let's just reconnect.
Here, here.
Anyway, be thankful to a business or anything, Willie? Don, you have a business real fast. Don Sanders.
Yes, donsmassageojai.com. Rejuvenating massage and bodywork in the SB, Ventura, Ojai areas. I have an office in Ojai. And just to add to that meditation, there's also a particular chant, out loud chant of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. It alleviates anxiety and stress. Check out buddhability.org.
And what about that business you had mentioned, some pizzeria that was supporting the that you talked to me about all week?
More about that. Yeah, Air Pizza. He got back to me. He was gone on a little vacation. He would like to come on the show. And so,
all right,
more about that. Yes.
All right, more about that next week. Hey, bag up some fruit and pass it on. God bless you. See you next week.
Nothing's gonna ever bring you down. You're the best around.